Good morning, students. Today we will discuss the definition of environmental studies as well as the differences between environmental studies and environmental science. Because most of the time it is presumed that environmental studies and environmental sciences are the same, but they are not the very same. There are differences between these two fields. Okay, so first of all, we will discuss about the definition of the environmental studies. So let me tell you, environmental studies is a multidisciplinary academic field which systematically studies the human interaction with the environment. Basically, this field of study underlines the interplay between social, legal, management, and scientific aspects of the environment. Okay, so this field of study brings together the principles of the social sciences, economics, humanities, and physical sciences, as well as fundamental sciences to study the environment as well as to deal with the contemporary environmental challenges. So one more important thing is there under the subject environmental studies. We focus more on environment, on social aspects of the environment. Okay, we study the environment from a social point of view. What will be the social repercussions as well as what will be the social impacts of the environment. So under this field of study, we focus more on the social aspects of the environment. So this was the definition of the environmental studies. And let us see what are the objectives of the environmental studies, which has been defined by UNESCO. UNESCO, it is a body of United Nations. So UNESCO has defined the objectives of the environmental studies, which are UNESCO has defined 5 objectives. So first important objective of the environmental studies is to create awareness about environment and environmental problems among the people. The second objective is to develop an attitude of concern for the environment. Third important objective is to motivate public to participate in environmental protection and its conservation. Fourth important objective is to impart technical expertise to the people which is necessary for dealing with the contemporary environmental problems. Fifth objective is to strive uh, to attain the harmony with the nature. Fifth objective defines that we must live in harmony with the nature. So these are the 5 important objectives of the environmental studies. So when I told you the definition of the environmental studies, I said that it is a multidisciplinary academic field of study. So what is the meaning of multidisciplinary academic field of study? Means when we study the environment, okay, we require the help of different disciplines, okay, different fields of studies like life sciences, physical sciences, social sciences, humanities, different types of subjects. That we need the help of different types of subjects in order to understand our relationship with the environment. So that's why the environmental study is considered as a multidisciplinary academic field. So if I if I show you the slide which is depicting the multidisciplinary, you can say, nature of the environmental studies, then you will get a strong sense. So please see this slide. In this slide, I have mentioned how environmental studies is a multidisciplinary academic field. So you can see that while studying the environment, while studying our relationship with the environment, we need the help of different subjects, multiple subjects. And these subjects are, as I have told, that we need the help of life sciences. So different types of subjects like biology, biochemistry, microbiology, biotechnology, we need the help of life sciences to understand the various aspects of the environmental studies. Similarly, we need the help of different subjects belonging to physical sciences like physics, chemistry, earth science, atmospheric science, oceanography, geography, etc. Certain subjects from engineering like civil engineering, chemical engineering, hydraulics, nanotechnologies, we may need the help of these subjects also. And some other subjects like economics, sociology, law, education, management, mass communication, we may also need the help of these subjects to understand our relationship with our environment. Similarly, subjects like mathematics, statistics, computer science, they also help in, you can say, addressing the various aspects of the environment. So since we need the help of different other subjects, okay, to study the relationship of human being with the environment, that's why this subject is multidisciplinary in nature. Okay. One important thing is there, if we see that I have also said that under this particular field, we focus on more social aspects of the environment. Okay, to understand the, you can say, our relationship with our environment. So we focus more on social aspect of the environment under the field of environmental studies. Okay. So when we come to the another subject, environmental science, and we see that the environmental science, it is very closely related to environmental studies, but it is not the same subject. This subject is different. And when we see the definition of the environmental science, so we see that it is an interdisciplinary academic field that integrates physical, biological, and information sciences to study the environment and the solution of the environmental problems. So under this field of study, we focus more on scientific aspects of the environment as well as different types of environmental problems which are prevailing in the society. So under the subject environmental science, we utilizes, we need the help of fundamental science subjects like maths, chemistry, biology, physics, atmospheric science, earth science, geology, to understand the various aspects of the environment. Okay, so in the area of this subject, the social aspect is not addressed widely as in the case of environmental studies. So under the subject environmental science, we study the environment as well as the different types of environmental problems which are prevailing with the help of some subjects which are fundamental in nature. We do not focus more on the social aspect of the environment under the field environmental science. We focus more on scientific aspects of the environment. Okay, but in case of environmental studies, we used to focus on social aspect of the environment. So I think difference would have been clear to you all. So when we see the definition of the environmental science, so there is a one agency, the National Center for Education Statistics in the United States. It has defined the environmental science as a program that focuses on the application of biological, chemical, and physical principles to the study of the physical environment and the solution of environmental problems, including subjects such as control of environmental pollution and its degradation, the interaction between human society and the natural environment, third, natural resource management. So under the subject environmental science, what we try to do, we try to control the environmental pollution and its degradation, the interaction between human society and the natural environment, Third, the natural resource management. So according to the agency, that is National Center for Education Statistics, we came to know the definition of the environmental studies. After that, I also said that environmental science is also interdisciplinary academic field. When we say that it is a interdisciplinary, so it should be clear that it also utilizes the different types of subjects in order to understand the various aspects of the environment, and these subjects include biological sciences, physical sciences, as well as information sciences. So with the help of a slide, I would like to focus on what are the different subjects which we utilize in order to understand the various aspects of the environment. So you can see that yes. Okay, we can see that under the subject environmental science, we study the environment as well as about the contemporary environmental problems. We study about these things with the help of fundamental science subjects. And what are these fundamental science subjects? These are biological sciences, agriculture, biochemistry, bioinformatics, biophysics, biotechnology, botany, cell biology, ecology, genetics, microbiology, parasitology, toxicology. So we need the help of these subjects when we try to understand the environment. Okay, so from biological sciences, we need the help of all these disciplines, okay, to address the different aspects of the environment. When we come to physical sciences, we need the help of physics, astronomy, chemistry, earth science in order to understand the various aspects of the environment. And from third broad domain, which we utilize for the study of the environment, is information science. So from this broad domain, we need the help from computer science, commerce, law, linguistics, museology, management, mathematics, philosophy, and social sciences also. Okay, so we came to know that in order to study the environment as well as to find out the solutions of contemporary environmental problems, we utilize these three broad domains for our study: biological sciences, physical sciences, as well as information sciences, to study the different aspects of the environment as well as to find out the solutions of different environmental problems prevailing in the society. So that's why environmental science is also a interdisciplinary field of study. Okay, so here I would like to mention that under the subject environmental science, we focus more on scientific aspects. What are the different types of scientific principles which are involved in the environment? Okay, but in case of environmental studies, we used to focus on more the social aspects of the environment. So we have discussed the environmental studies as well as environmental science, the definitions as well as the differences also. So from one important example, we will try to understand more about differences between environmental studies and environmental science. I would like to mention one example. Suppose that a bomb blast took place in any country. Okay, so how we see from the point of environmental studies as well as from the point of environmental science about this happening. A student of environmental studies will focus on why this bomb blast took place, what will be the impacts of this bomb blast on the society, on the regional peace, on the international politics, what will be the impacts of this bomb blast on the local people as well as on the people which are closely residing the area. in the area. So a student of environmental science, what he will focus on which aspects he will focus on. A student of environmental science will focus on what will be the impact of the what was the intensity of the bomb blast. Okay, how much energy released from that bomb blast, what will be the impacts of the bomb blast on the plants, what will be the impacts of the bomb blast on the microorganisms, what will be the impacts of that bomb blast on animals. Okay, and how we can minimize the impacts of that bomb blast, and how we can remove the toxic remains of that bomb blast. For example, if there was a TNT used for the bomb blast, so how we can remove this TNT from the soil, how we can remove this TNT from water. Okay, so the student of environmental science will focus on its remediation also, but students of social science will focus on the impacts of that bomb blast on local people, on regional peace, on international politics, as well as to some extent on the impacts of the bomb blast on, you can say, a local vegetation also. So with this example, it would have been clear that the student of environmental science will focus more on the scientific aspects of the bomb blast, but a student of environmental studies will focus on the social aspects of the bomb blast. So by this discussion, I'm very much sure that you would have been familiar with the differences between environmental science as well as uh, with the environmental studies, and how these subjects, both these subjects are multidisciplinary in nature, and these subjects are not very similar. They are not they are very much different subjects. So that is all for today's discussion. We will discuss more aspects of environmental studies ahead in our future discussions. Thank you.